Yo, what's up everybody? JohnBParker here, back with another Raid Shadow Legends video. Today, I wanted to talk about what I have sort of figured out, not with a whole lot of research, but at least what I have figured out to be what I would consider safe speedruns of dungeons, the 4 major dungeons, level 25, stage 25, whatever you want to call them. So, this is going to be sort of a video about the teams that I run for stage 25 dungeons, because I'm at the point in the game where I'm level 99. I have a lot of good champions. I have a lot of great champions, and at this point my gear has been lacking. So I want to try to go for the best gear possible, in which case I'm also kind of a busy person, and doing a dungeon that takes 3, 4, 5 minutes, it's not necessarily that acceptable for me. I mean, it's acceptable sort of, but like, you always want to try to become faster. So that's what I wanted to do today. And because all of these runs are relatively quick, at least I like to think so, we're going to do all 4 in one. So first one we're going to talk about today is stage 25 of the Ice Golem's Peak. Now my best time is 1:50. Are there faster teams? Yes. Are there faster teams for all 4 of these dungeons? Yes. But these are the teams that I have, with the champions that I have, that I would consider the fastest, at least for what I've got going on. Now here's this team right here. Take a quick look in the team setup. Ice Golem 25. So we have Renegade, Kymar, Lydia, Bad Alcazar, and Seer. The thing that makes this a speed run is obviously Seer and Lydia. The thing that makes this safe is Bad Alcazar. So we look in the team setup here. Renegade, turn that off. Turn that off and let her go. Round 3. Kymar, turn off Seal of Magic. Let him do it and then don't let him do it again. And then he does what he wants. Lydia does what she wants. Bad Alcazar does what he wants. And with Seer, we don't want her using Clan Banner, because she will auto into Clan Banner. Very frustrating. If you don't set this up, she will auto into Clan Banner because she doesn't like using Karma Burn without a crit rate buff. And you'll see this as a theme with 3 of the 4 dungeons. Turn off Karma Burn pretty much exclusively, with the exception of the 3rd round. So then we use Kymar for the reset for the first reset, and then we use Renegade just to kind of help speed us up a little bit. And that's the team for this. So let's watch a run here. My previous best for Ice Golem 25 was like 3.5 minutes, and I was using super duper safe champions like Duchess and Tomb Lord. Even though Tomb Lord is negative affinity, he places an AoE attack down, defense down that's not a hit, so that the affinity doesn't matter. Having attack down on the boss is amazing. It's kind of the super duper safe way you want to do this. So the speed part of this is we get Seer nuking everybody on the waves, get to the boss really quick, and then the super duper safe part of this is Bad Alcazar can solo this guy. So we get to the boss very quick, and then we just let Bad Alcazar and Lydia do their thing. The faster that Kymar, Renegade, Seer, and potentially even Lydia die, the better this team is, or the quicker this team is. I have Kymar in some relatively decent gear. Sometimes he dies, sometimes he doesn't. The super safe thing about this is that Bad Alcazar will never die. Are there other champions you can do this run with to make it even safer? Sure. I mean, you have Sify, you have Chris, you have, anybody places attack down, this run basically becomes 100%. It just gets a little slower. So that is what it is. The Ice Golem here. Now the mechanics basically behind this fight is we want the Ice Golem taking turns getting poisoned by Bad Alcazar, and what happens is the poison damage will nullify his ability to revive his guys. And because I think he's got to get hit right. Oh, look at that, minute 46. That's our best time. See, it just gets even faster. Excellent. So minute 46. Is there faster teams out there? Yes. Are there kamikaze runs where you just have Seer nuking everything and hope that you don't get smoked by the boss? Sure, but those aren't super safe. So there you go. There's Ice Golem. Next run we're going to do is Dragon. Dragon 25. It's almost the exact same team, except for instead of Battle Khazar, we switch in Tomb Lord, and instead of Renegade, we switch in Septimus. Now the team setup here, Septimus is really just in there in case Seer can't take out the waves fully, which can happen. And then Septimus does his extra damage. So Septimus, we want him coming in pretty much just using A1s, and then his A2 Holy Sword is an enemy max HP ability. Kymar, you come in, round 1, don't use Seal of Magic. Round 2, use Seal of Magic. We don't ever want him using Abyssal Gaze, it's kind of a waste. Lydia, I don't ever want her using Nullification. That is just a time waste. That's all it is, because the animation of it is just a time waste. Tomb Lord would come in. We don't want him ever using Blight. Blight is his ability that defense down, attack down. It's just waste time. That's all it does. We want him doing Death Burst, getting as many Death Bursts as possible, and then Seer, Karma Burn, Karma Burn, Karma Burn. That's what we want. So, here's this run. With Dragon 25, Tomb Lord is like the ultimate guy. I can have Tomb Lord in the setup he's in right now. He can solo this with 4 food champions if you wish. And it's not that hard of a build. So we're going to get a little unlucky here, and Lydia didn't place defense down on this guy. So Seer didn't get the big fat nuke off. So this run's not going to be as fast as it possibly can, and that's the risk you take when you run a champion who's got a 3% chance of getting resisted. We're still at the boss in less than 30 seconds, so I'm okay with that. We would have been at the boss at about 14 seconds had Lydia gotten defense down up on everybody, and that's fair. So it is what it is. Sometimes this run is a minute. Sometimes this run is a minute 20. I'm okay with either. The same mechanics here. You prefer everybody besides Tomb Lord to die, because then it's even faster. I've seen this done with Frozen Banshee. You can even do this with Battle Khazar, but I just like Tomb Lord better for this. The reason I don't use Tomb Lord specifically for Ice Golem 25 is because he's just negative affinity, and you can't always land the poisons. Sometimes you get weak hits, and now everybody dies, so this should be a much faster. And without that resistance of the defense down on the second wave there, this would have been probably around a minute 5, something like that. I'll take a minute 26. My best time is 1 minute flat. That's the basic team right there. Okay, so the next run we're going to do here is Fire Knight. Fire Knight 25. This is the one that gets most people, because you have to have the certain mechanics for the boss, but then you also have to be able to get through the waves. So this is where switch in a couple of different champions. We're still using Seer and Lydia, but I bring in Royal Guard. He's got an attack aura, which is crazy, 35% attack aura. We want him using takedown on the first 2 waves. Don't use hamstring at all, so he has it available. And then we want him to open with hamstring, because that's a quad hit with decreased speed. Allure, I don't want her doing anything besides her A1 ever, at all. Allure is like, this is what you use it for. 3 times at random, decreases turn meter. Lydia does what Lydia does. She's fine on auto. Seer, you want Seer never using Clan Banner. Use Clan Banner on the second wave, because the reset here is Renegade, not Kymar. Now the reason we reset with Renegade instead of Kymar here is mainly because she has this triple hit here, and that helps out get the shield for the boss down. So let's go ahead and watch this run. This is the one that catches people a little bit more off guard, because the waves tend to have a little bit more HP, whatever you want to call it. And we're still able to manage get Seer down here. What do I have here? I have I have Lydia in a shield set for an extra buff. And then I also have Lydia in a blood shield artifact, just to get an extra buff for Seer to rip off, and it just manages to get the waves down. So once I get the waves down and I get to the boss with this team setup, 100% guaranteed, never gonna lose. Allure makes sure that happens. One thing I didn't talk about with Royal Guard's hamstring ability is it also decreases turn meter. So having decreased speed up, which is from hamstring, and Allure's A1 ability, which will decrease turn meter, we are able to make sure that this boss never gets a turn. And at this point, it's really just how many times can we get around to Karma Burn, and how many takedowns can we get from Royal Guard? So it's just, it's probably, I think my best run of this was like a minute 53 or something like that, which I am perfectly fine with. I am perfectly fine with this. I do not have crazy OP gear. My Seer doesn't have 400 crit damage. So my Seer's probably got like 270 crit damage with like 280 accuracy or something like that. I don't exactly know. I have all of these champions essentially built out for Doom Tower or Doom Tower bosses. I think Royal Guard is like the only champion here that I don't use anywhere else. And so he's really just, I just kind of put him in a whole bunch of crit damage and a whole bunch of attack. So save speedrun. This will never fail. If you this has got a very, very small chance of failing if you get very unlucky with the turn meter. And there you go, 2 minutes flat. I'm okay with 2 minutes flat. Super safe. I would consider this a speedrun because Fire Knight 25 is one of the harder dungeons comparatively. Speed and crit rate from a 5-star rare piece, I think we'll pass that up. Super safe. And I would consider it a speedrun because, hey, 2 minutes to do a stage 25 dungeon. It's pretty quick. Now for the super duper duper speedrun. The one that actually would consider a speedrun. Now, is this the fastest team? No. No, it's not the fastest team. But I use Tunisia here. And I also use 3 cold hearts. You don't have to use 3 cold hearts. I would recommend 2 cold hearts at the very least if you want to do this fast. The cold hearts are really just there for Heartseeker. Decreases the turn meter by 100%, and you also get the enemy max HP. So 10%, 10%. One thing I didn't talk about was stage 25 dungeons. Champions who have abilities that scale off of enemy max HP, like this right here. On stage 25 or 21 through 25, you can only get 10% of the enemy's max HP. It caps. So that's why you don't necessarily see. I don't use Cold Heart in 25. I don't use Septimus really anywhere else. I use kind of Septimus for Dragon, but that's really for the waves. But for the bosses, we really just want Cold Hearts, not using Art of Pain. We want them using Heartseeker, and this is where you go with the burn strategy. So I use Tunisia for the burn strategy because she's got this ability that not only does she place a burn, but she'll also place a stun. So burn and stun all in the same ability. Is it the world record time? No. But is it really fast? Yes. Excellent. And then we do Chimera for a reset, and next thing you know, you got a mid 20 second Fire Knight or Spider 25 run, and I'm okay with that. So if you have a Sissia, she's the way to go. If you have that new guy, I forget his name, Theodore, I want to say it's that guy. Is it that guy? He can do this really fast. The champions that blow up like all the HP burns and stuff like that, you can just do all the damage like instantly. So there you go. It's a pretty well-known strat where HP burn and then you stun the spiderlings and then you just keep the spider's turn meter down. There you go. It's straightforward. That's the team. Let's take a look at a couple of the champions that are key to this. Lydia the Death Siren is pretty key to this because when you're using Seer, you need as many buffs as possible, and you also need defense down and weaken. Well, Lydia gives us that. She gives us defense down and weaken and strengthen and increase speed. So there's 2 buffs right there. Now, I also have her in a shield set, so that's an extra buff. So she essentially gives everybody 3 buffs. And then I have her in a blood shield ring, so she'll go and she gets 1 extra buff. So she essentially gives 16 buffs to the entire group. Fantastic. Lydia is fantastic. Tunisia, I don't need to talk about Tunisia too much. Just enough accuracy and some speed. Let's see here. Battle Khazar. This is his solo build. You can build him to be even safer. If you put him in regen, doesn't really matter though. Let's see here. What do we got? Kymar. What do we got Kymar in? I got Kymar going 285 with 554 accuracy, mainly for arena. But, he needs to be fast. He is fast. That's pretty much it. Let's see. Tomb Lord. This is Tomb Lord can solo. Dragon 25 with 4 food champions, if you so choose. 206 speed. 2700 defense, yada yada. You need 100 crit and then accuracy and resistance. 100 crit for his Death Burst ability. Will place 4 poisons if it's critical. Now, get on to the main champion here, Seer. I have her in Lethal, which is essentially Savage, Lethal and Cruel. So she'll ignore 30% of defense. and I have her up at 273% crit damage with 282 accuracy. There's better builds for this. There's better builds. But this is what I can get her in my lethal gear. I don't have as much savage gear. It is what it is. Let's see here. Allure. Just want her going fast with 100 crit and as much accuracy as possible. Royal Guard. Just for Dragon or Fire Knights. Just no savage, nothing like that. 4,000 attack and almost 300 crit damage. That works. Now all three Cold Hearts are basically just built the exact same way. 70 crit, 260 crit damage at 200 speed, yada yada. They're all basically built the same. 300 accuracy, 70, 281, 202. I do have this one in Destroy for the Scarab King. I can get rid of this because I don't need her in Destroy anymore. But 70 crit, 228, 351 accuracy, 220 speed, yada yada. That's pretty much it. There are lots of substitutions. There are faster teams. But these are the 4 comps that I have found that work for the champions that I have on my account. And they're relatively fast. All 4 of these teams, with the exception of the Spider team, which I've been running for a little bit, the other 3 teams are like new records for me. So you can sub out other champs. You can bring in champs. If you don't have a Tomb Lord and maybe you have somebody else that can do poisons, you know, almost anybody can do poisons. Like Frozen Banshee even works on, can probably sub in for all of these things. You just have to like put them in a little bit more gear that will help them sustain better lifesteal or regen or what have you. So that's it for the video. I hope there was some information that you guys found. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. So until next time, I'm JohnBParker. Have a great one. Peace out.